Hello, and welcome back to the Dungeons & Dragons Podcast UK. My name is Yasmin, and I will be the DM.
Hi, my name is Samantha. I play Laura Greyvale, and she is a sorceress from the province of Nephalia.
Hello, I'm Colin, and I play Cuin de Greymont, a paladin from Thraben in the province of Gavany.
Hi, I'm Ryan. I play Ogvar Shawfort, a goat-herding, mushroom-seeking ranger from Kessig.
Hi, I'm Rick, and I play Otto, a spring sage from Hanweir, sworn to the land, wandering the plain and setting wrongs to right with his ursine companion, Bojo.
After surveying Saltstone from above, the scene revealed that troubled waters were most definitely washing up at the companion's door once more. Sending the druid to do a spot of recon seemed a sensible way forward, and as Otto returned to his friends with a face full of fish, he imparted a somewhat less than ideal report on his recent ocular observations. After some discussion, it was deemed reasonable that dominion over this impressive, if not ominous, vessel was likely to be that of the Skursdag cultists. And thus, as an impossible problem to ignore, the team decided to deal directly with the threat at hand. After electing to leave their equines concealed in a nearby copse, they silently slipped into Saltstone and sought to set up their base in the long-since abandoned church. Episode 131, Bat in the Belfry.
All of you. Turning away from the altar, I'm assuming you're then going to head up the kind of rickety staircase towards the tower.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah? Okay, so I believe it was Otto tested it out. Or was it Ogvar? I think it might have been Ogvar. It's Ogvar or Otto. It would only be safe to go up one person at a time because the stairs are quite old, they're quite rickety looking. So you make your way up and you are in the clock tower. It's a fair distance up. You're probably looking about 30 foot up towards the top, and you emerge onto this floor and you can see there is indeed a big kind of old bell occupying most of the space on this floor. You can see all of the mechanisms that would be used to make it swing, to make it ring. And you can see when you reach this floor there is also a set of stairs, like a little kind of step ladder, straight ladder up to a hatch in the roof, which you would assume would lead you up into kind of like this little kind of open section that you could see from the ground. You can see that between the kind of the cap of the roof there was indeed like this open plateau.
I suppose we get a better look. We can have a little peep out through the top, couldn't we, Otto?
I might whine a little bit. Otto's still in wolf form.
Oh, yes, I see. Ladders, paws. Okay.
I shall reluctantly change back into my human self and look disapprovingly at the ladder.
So yeah, I've got so I'll just say, is it me or you first? Who wants to go?
Well, I'd say ladies first, but she's as apt to fall down it as anyone. You better go first.
Okay.
I didn't say I wanted to go up there. Do you want to go up there, Esther?
No, I don't mind, dearie. If you want me to go, I'll go.
You go and have a look. Saves us all climbing up. I mean, it doesn't look like the biggest space, does it?
Okie dokie then. Kieran, are you coming, dearie?
I mean, if there's trouble up there, but I can't see the point if everybody went up there. You know, more chance of being seen.
Well, precisely. I'll just stay where I am, I think.
Right-ho. Off I go then. And Esther makes her way towards the ladder and begins to climb it and pushes open the hatch, and it's this horrible squealing squeak of kind of stuck fast wood where it's swollen and kind of bound into the frame. She gives it a good heave, and it kind of squeals open, eventually popping free and flying loose. And she pops her head through the hole and disappears above you. So I take it that both of you are going to follow?
Yeah, I'll go, yeah.
Yep, okay. So you emerge onto the top of this tower. You can see that in each corner of the tower, it's not big, it's probably 10 foot by 10 foot. Each corner there are large kind of thick stone posts which hold up the roof. This very traditional kind of triangular kind of pyramid cap with kind of these very dark grey tiles. It's tall enough for you to stand up fully, and yeah, there's nothing particularly up here of any interest on the tower. You can see a couple of the parapets, or almost not parapets is probably the wrong word, but a couple of the kind of sides where you've got the kind of rails. A couple of them have collapsed through, or maybe in a slight state of disarray. However, they stand strong, and you are able to kind of move around and be fairly unseen, you'd say, just from the cover that they're providing.
Okay.
So I would take it you're probably going to take a look out, take a look around. Okay. So looking out from the top of the tower, you can see less than you could when you were up on the Outlook of Rock. However, you do get kind of closer detail now that you are actually within the borders of the town. So you can see these buildings, you can see where they've been destroyed, partially burnt out, crumbled. Looking to the north, so towards the sea, towards these kind of bigger buildings on the coastline, you can see destroyed houses, partially burnt houses, nothing really of interest there. You can obviously see the ship in the water as well, and now that you've got a closer look at it, you can see that it is, that it is incredibly intimidating, this big black looming ship, incredibly large and just kind of very ominous, just kind of sitting there very silent. To the west, looking at the west hand side of the tower, you can see the kind of what you'd assume to be the Lord's mansion, or the town mayor's mansion. It's this very big, very what was once opulent looking building. It's now decayed. Parts of kind of the plaster, the decorative fronting have fallen off. It's looking worn and tired, and you can see over towards effectively the left hand side of the village again, more houses, more buildings. Looking out of the eastern side of the tower, you can see across to the graveyard. You can't see very much in detail because it is concealed by a couple of buildings, a couple of houses. However, you can make out certain large gravestones, just kind of general kind of tombstones, headstones, and you might be able to spot movement as one of these undead just kind of shambles around. And of course, looking out towards the south, you can look back onto the forest.
How many sort of, not exact numbers, but is there like lots of undead, or is it like, did it look like the whole graveyard's come up?
So Otto, you'd probably be able to kind of be in a position to kind of answer that question a bit more. From your flight over, you saw very little. There were a couple. There are a handful of smattering, not a metric ton, and I'm sure you'd probably communicated that to Ogvar and the rest when you were speaking to them in the forest.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a couple. It doesn't look like the entire occupants of the graveyard have spilled out.
Okay. Fair enough.
Looks like a reasonable vantage point then.
Oh, yes, we can see quite a bit from up here. I assume, well, there's a bit of cover up here. Hopefully nothing's seen us either.
Kewin, you were wanting to go straight after the ship. Are you still looking to do that, or do you think maybe we could slow down a little and maybe scope things out from here for a little?
I'm not with you, mate.
Yeah.
No, sorry,
I'm
you're
still
down below, aren't you?
downstairs.
Yeah. Well,
Otto says through the hatch.
yeah, just poke my head down through the hatch and ask there.
I think we should possibly go straight for the ship, but if people want to make sure that the graveyard is cleared first, I'm certainly okay with that.
Oh, are you talking to me?
No,
I'm sorry, I was-
Otto, he's through the hatch.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was just in my own thoughts there. I didn't really hear what he said.
I don't suppose you think you could shoot these zombies or whatever they are from here, do you, Ogvar?
Oh, I don't know. I might one or two, but certainly not all of them. They seem to be doing their own thing over there. I don't know whether it's best just leave them doing what they're doing.
Works.
From where you are, Ogvar and Otto, you can see that the distance between the tower and the graveyard is probably somewhere in the region of 160 foot. It's a fair old distance.
Not so far for a master bowman, though.
No. I could take one or two, but not many. Not all of them. I could give it a try if you want, but I would want to alert them to our presence. We seem to have gone undetected so far.
That's entirely fair.
I'm assuming that because this conversation is happening upstairs, Alora, although her attention's been drawn back to where she is, I'm assuming she can't hear this?
No.
Okay.
Well, shall we go back down and perhaps discuss things then?
I think so, yes.
Okay, we'll make our way back down.
Okay. Right, so you make your way back down into the bell room, we'll call it. Does everybody want to make me a spot check while you're in there, please?
Spit spot.
I shall certainly try.
That's 16 plus 6, 22.
22, okay, nice. Elora?
Well, that's a nat 1. Might as well start as you mean to go on. Plus 7.
What were you saying
so
about rolling well last night?
That's a whole 8. Yeah, last night's game went well.
Oh my god, okay, so 22 in that one.
I've rolled a 16 plus 11, which is 27, I believe.
27, nice. And Otto?
Rolled a 14 plus 18, 32.
32, okay, nice. So, with the exception of Elora, who's perhaps still lost in her own thoughts,
Just lost.
well, yeah, okay. The three of you, Kewin, Otto and Ogvar, as you kind of reconvene and kind of take a look again around this room as you're descending down the stairs, as you're kind of looking around, you can see that by each side, there are a couple of points of this in this wall, this what you would say is the north-facing wall. You can see a couple of large kind of slatted panels, which are providing ventilation, you would assume. Almost like kind of storm panels. They're designed in such a way that the wind will get through, however water and the elements won't.
Mm-hmm.
They do look quite old, quite decayed, and you would say, be able to work them a bit so that you can actually provide or create viewing points as well.
I say, those panels, do you reckon I could give them a bit of a tug so we could, rather than keep going up to the top, just view through here?
I see no reason why not. Give it a go.
Okay then.
Do you need a hand?
We could try.
Quick.
There we go then. Right.
So you're going to give them a bit of a tug, a bit of a
Yeah.
try and, yeah. You're able to kind of they're not these panels don't rotate, they are solid, but with a bit of force you are able to actually pull a couple of the panels out, providing these kind of almost larger slat holes which you can use as kind of viewing points. You're very easily able to do that, Kewin.
Oh, look, there. See, we did have to go up. After all, Alora.
Well, that seems like a very good idea. It's also they're quite thin, so they're almost like those slits that you get in towers where people fire arrows through. Quite useful.
I can feel a draft now as well.
Sorry.
Okay, so you've reconvened in the bell room. You've created some viewing points, and these are, for clarification, they aren't vertical, they are horizontal, like a pair of blinds. You've essentially, when you see someone in a video with the metal blinds they pull down to have a sneaky peek, you've effectively done that, but you've just taken a couple of these panels out, so you've got some nice kind of, they are reasonably wide as well, they're probably a metre or so wide, so you have got pretty decent long ones.
Oh, they're sort of like ornithology panels.
Yeah, it's like a hide.
Like a bird hide.
It's like a hide, yeah. So you're all kind of in this room. So there's Esther, Eric, Kewin, Otto, Ogvar, and Elora. Bojo has been left downstairs. And what are you doing at this point? So, are you planning to take some time to observe? Do you want to have a couple of quick 5-minute discussion between the lot of you to kind of decide what you're doing from this point onwards?
Okay, yeah.
Can I just check? Did Kewin pull those panels, like a panel out from each side, like a slat out from each side of the bell tower, or just the one side?
I'd assume you'd have gone for both sides.
Yeah.
Both.
Yeah.
Right. So not north, south, east, and west. That's what I'm saying.
So, right. Okay. So the wall with the panels is on the south side. North side, facing the ship. There are two, one on each side of one on each side of this wall, basically, left one and a right one.
So north side and
no,
just
north
So
side.
it's like, say, 3 panels, 2 panels there, wall there, taking 2 out.
Just on the north wall.
Just on the north.
Where?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okey-dokey.
Well, it seems like we have an ideal observation point, doesn't it? Perhaps I'll head down and just go make sure Bojo's going to be okay down there, and maybe we take it in turns having a look. Take some time here. I know you're eager to get a move on Kewin, but maybe we gain some information this way.
Well, yeah, but don't really want to be trapped in here, for too long. Need to get a shift on, sort of thing.
I kind of agree.
What
But
do you think, Eric?
Surely it's surely part of that is not us being trapped in here. If anything comes into the church, they're trapped in here with us, huh?
Yeah, suppose, yes.
Alora's going to just sidle over and quietly look out through the slats that Kewin's removed. What can she see out of the north side?
Okay, so you can see pretty much the same as what Otto and Ogvar saw. Kind of burnt out, destroyed buildings, a couple which are still standing, but obviously in state of disrepair. They're obviously aged and kind of starting to ruin. You can see the ship above the houses in the sea. This big black looming thing with these birds roosting on its masts and flying round, circling the vessel and above the vessel, just kind of staying within the local vicinity.
So the crows around the crow's nest?
Well, it would be, but there aren't any crows.
Large crows. Black things.
Yeah, you can see that the sails kind of, they're drawn up, they've been stowed away. You can't really see much else apart from, with the exception of the birds, you don't see any particular movement.
Okay.
If everyone is considering sort of having a peek out, I will head down the stairs slowly just to make sure Bojo's all right down there, and just leave you guys to figure out whether we're staying or going.
Okay. Yep. So you go and check on Bojo. Bojo's perfectly fine. He's made himself he's found himself a nice corner to kind of curl up into and have a bit of a snooze.
That's fine. I shall just sit comfortably with him for a bit, just enjoying his company.
Alora's going to shake the pouch on her side and say, "Come on, Rowan. Come on. Hey, this is a Belfry. This is just your kind of place. But don't go too far. Okay, be very careful because there's some very unpleasant flying creatures out there. So just take a recce, tell me what you can see, have a bit of a fly around, but stay out of sight."
Whee! Rowan takes flight. He circles around the room a bit, and then makes for one of the gaps that you've made in the slatted panels queuing. However, Rowan is a little bit rotund, so he reaches the panel, gets halfway through, and then promptly gets stuck. His little wings flapping, before eventually kind of wiggling and popping free, and fluttering outside.
Told you, buttery bat, it's the way to go.
Okay. So Rowan goes through a bit of a recce. What are you guys wanting to do?
We're having a little conversation about that character, are we, to say?
Yeah. So if you want to have a quick 5-minute conversation out of character to kind of discuss what you're going to do, let's go for it.
Well,
What do you want to deal with first?
Well, like old fast right. Well, I said those zombies and that lot, they're on a totally different area and they might not see us. I think we should go for the ship personally, but that's my personal view.
Well, we can anchor the ship.
How long does the anchor last for?
24 hours unless it's dispelled.
That's a nice length of time. So we could potentially get in just to put an anchor on it, maybe do a little bit of damage and then move away.
I can get in to do that. I can get to the boat hopefully without too much of a problem and actually anchor that in place. I can do that myself.
Yeah, but is it moving? You could use the anchor to make sure it can't move, but it might not move anyway.
Yeah, but you don't want them just...
No, but what I'm saying is if we maul on there and they start to move, anchor.
I could do it rather than just waste the anchor, yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
That's the only thing I could... problem. I mean, yeah, you could come over them, you could go, right, you're not moving, but might not be able to move. So you've just wasted an anchor.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
so we're going to... Unless Rick's got any objections, I think we also be heading towards the boat, basically, then.
Yeah. Otto will go.
I think that's the way to go.
Okay.
I think we need to do it fairly stealthy, though.
I agree.
Do you wait till nightfall to do it?
If we were to wait till nightfall, we don't know what these vultures' visual capabilities are, but most vultures would be just during the day. My suspicion is probably more powerful than that. I'm not sure if we can take advantage.
Alpha, can you see in the dark?
Nope.
I can only see for a short period with my when I activate my skin, so we'd be at a disadvantage.
Yeah.
It's it's one of those things, isn't it? You gain the cover of darkness, but then you've got to deal with travelling in the darkness.
Yeah. You're fighting in the dark.
Depends on whether it's a clear night.
Do we have a plan for if it goes wrong we need to pull back?
Run!
Pretty much, yeah.
But where to is what I mean, in case we get separated.
It's got to be the church, hasn't it?
I think so. Because you go up the stairs
Well,
and you should be able to hold it.
Well, because there are the warehouses by the side of it as well, aren't there?
There's a large manor house
Isn't
next
there?
to it, I think, yeah.
No, that's to the church. No, I mean
next to the docks.
down by the docks.
Yeah.
There was an L shape, was it?
Yeah. There's there are two large buildings right by the docks. You'd have to make a slight detour to get to them.
Yeah. But they'd be closer than the church.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so we
What
go
I-
there first.
Yeah.
Scout that.
What I will
Sorry.
say, just so you can kind of reference, I know that you can't really particularly see this well, Rick, but if I show you this map, So you're kind of in the church up here.
Mm-hmm.
You have, and you would be able to see this from your vantage point, that there's a couple of buildings here which there's a couple which have taken fire damage, a couple which are intact, but there's this almost kind of this band across the middle, this kind of curving band here, which are totally destroyed.
Okay, yeah.
And then you've got some points of cover as you're moving your way through, and some points you can use for cover, but it is just something to be aware of, that you may not have cover from some of these buildings in some of these areas.
So if we head from where we are towards the buildings that you mentioned, Colin, if they're clear, then that could be our fallback point, and we could sort of like stepping stone our way out if we need to.
Yeah, good shout.
Make our way back to the storerooms, or what are they like? Are they the ones with merchants written on them? Or chaps?
Yes.
Yeah. So that could be our first fallback.
Oh, sorry,
point
no,
for the ship.
sorry, no, that one isn't. Sorry.
Oh.
Sorry.
I think Alora would offer to do a full recce of the church and see if there are any secret tunnels out of the church.
Are we jumping back in character now?
No.
Oh, okay, sorry.
No. I think Alora would I think that's one thing she would do, is just do a recce of the church, have a look around the walls and stuff, and see
Okay.
if there are any trapdoors
Didn't
or
we do that?
anything.
You did do that, yeah. You've already done that.
Yeah, we had a good look
Yeah,
around.
Oh.
so went around looking for an undercrypt.
Okay.
Okay.
So it's either, we've basically got to try and, it's whether we go straight for the boat or to the side to the L-shaped buildings. You say that they were like in an L shape? Two buildings?
They're connected buildings. Yeah.
Yeah, in and out, like an L. So it's whether we go to there first and then straight to the boat, or go just straight to the boat. Obviously stealthily.
I would just use buildings as cover. I would
Yeah,
move from
as much as
building
you
to
can.
building to get as close as you can.
To where the big buildings or the ship?
No, if you're heading for the ship, I would use whatever buildings are along your route for cover,
Okay.
because
So-
obviously I don't think anybody's mentioned whether there is a gangplank down, whether it's just moored, whether it's out in the middle of the harbour.
Well, we wouldn't see, from the only person who would know that.
Well, no, but you'd know whether it was out in the middle of the harbour. We didn't ask that question, or whether it was actually moored at a dock.
Yeah, but like I was about to say, Otto is the one who would know that sort of thing, because he flew over it.
Yeah. So Otto, if you wanted to answer that, you remember, or you would know that you did not see any signs of that. So it's not at the gangplank. There's no kind of official mooring. It is just sat in the harbour. You could also not see any form of craft in the water that would indicate kind of being able to move backwards and forwards from the ship.
How far
We sell a boat.
away
You sold a boat
is
in a box,
the
yeah.
ship from the edge of the harbour?
Give it away then.
So from the edge of the harbour, you'd say it's probably a good 50 to 60 foot out, because it needs the draft and the depth of the water. You'd say it's about 50 to 60 foot out.
Okay, so
I can get onto it.
we've got two options here, and we need to decide whether we're going straight to the boat or to the buildings first. That's what we need to decide.
Okay. So what I'll do is I'll present you two kind of options here, based on the map. If you want to go from the church to the boat, the route that it's going to take you directly, you are only going to have one point of cover, perhaps two if you make a slight diversion.
Right.
Okay. If you want to go from the church to these kind of buildings at the front, you are going to be able to wind between the broken and damaged buildings, and you will have about 4 or 5 different opportunities for making cover
Okay.
if you want to head through that way.
Okay.
So if I'm going to say, to make things easier, those are the kind of two routes you can take,
Yeah,
the
fair
two
enough.
logical routes, just so we're simplifying this down, because otherwise you can go, well, I want to go to this building, this building,
Yeah,
this
yeah,
building.
yeah. Fair show.
Yeah, well, I would say the more cover, the better.
Yeah.
Agreed. I think we're all agreed on
Yeah,
that.
for sure. I think as Kieran was saying, I think getting more cover on the way in, less chance for us to be discovered. I think that makes the most sense.
How many of us are there?
6 plus Bojo.
6. Well, yeah, because we've got Eric and Esther as well.
Oh, Eric.
Okay.
Is Eric fast enough to keep up with us?
Yes, Eric will be able to keep up with you.
Okay.
I can dimension door long distances, 800 feet at a time. and I can take 3 people with me.
Okay.
So getting onto the boat isn't a problem.
Yeah.
I could technically do that a couple of times, but then we've got to get potentially back off it again if it goes wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think using dim door to get to the ship is a great idea. Have you only got the one?
I can cast that up to 6 times.
Okay. Cool. Sorceress. Yeah.
So I could get everybody on, but it's if everybody needs to get off in a hurry.
Perhaps if we.
Your
you could
translocation anklet, how... So, just jumping in here, your translocation anklet, Ryan, how long does that do?
Oh yeah,
10 foot.
10 foot. You can hop across the surface of the water.
the man can walk on water.
Sorry.
It's okay. I was just thinking, should we maybe suggest that Esther, Eric, and should perhaps stay in the church? I can ask Bojo to look after them, and that way it's a bit easier for us to get across. We need one spell in, one spell out, and there's less chance of us being discovered.
I think because there's quite a few people in the party, I wouldn't normally say split the party, but there's quite a few of us in total.
Yeah.
So maybe doing a smaller infiltration to gain information is one thing, but if we get into a battle or a tight spot, I can get us back out. So I would need to go onto the ship.
And if they start moving, you've got the anchor.
And we've got the anchor as well. And I've got Orland.
What is the distance from the ship to the tower?
That's a very good question.
Because if that's less than 800 feet, we could skip those warehouses and just go for it.
True.
It is less than 800 feet.
That might be a stronger idea then, because although I'd like to have a look at the warehouses, I do think that
800 feet? I mean, that's a lot of buildings. Less than 800 feet to the ship? Really?
Well, an average build house is only about 30 foot long.
Yeah, but there are several places along the way. So you're going right the way from a bell tower straight the way down.
They're not in a straight line, are they?
Well, no, which makes the route even longer.
If you've got, say, 7 buildings, that's only 210 feet. Paths in between, even a road, that's another 30. So if the most, you're talking 400, 500 feet.
What you've got to remember is that this town, from the picture, the distance from the church to the harbour isn't long, especially if you're going in a straight line, right? The town is wide, but it's short.
It's built
Shallow.
on the coast.
So it's built on the curve.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
okay.
Okay.
I think
Well, I think Rick's just come up with a very good point there then.
I think that's going to save us a lot of issues. It's straight in, straight out, no chance of being spotted on the way. There is potential for ambush when we get there. It's going to be all action as soon as we get there, I imagine. But as long as we go in ready for it, I think that's probably a smart move. Plus it means that there's obviously another good point. If we need to get out of there, it's a single spell. If we need reinforcements, it's 2 spells. We've got these options that are a lot more flexible than if we go creeping over there.
Yeah.
Sounds like a plan.
So the question is, do we all go then? That's 3 spells, essentially. 3 dim doors to do that.
How many people do we want to go? Do we all want to be on there, or do we want to leave somebody holding this as a safe place to retreat to?
Well, you can only take so many, so we either 3 of us go with you,
Yeah.
or we all go with you. But if 3 of us went with you, I know you said you can get us out, but there's something on there.
I would be less inclined to want Bojo to accompany us, because although bears can swim, he's not going to swim very fast, and he's going to be a bit of a target out there on the way out otherwise, if things go wrong. So I'd be a lot more comfortable him being here.
The thing is, I can take 3 people with me.
It's 4.
That's 4 people, including myself. And we've got 2 we've got another mage. I don't know what he's capable of.
There is another option. If you want to take Eric, I can fly there. Or potentially even go in the water.
Actually,
I've only got 2 wild shapes left, but those are options.
What were you going to say? Yes.
No, it's fine. I was just reminding you. Remember, your familiars also count as small creatures.
Yes. Yeah. Rowan's out and about.
Well, they can both fly, so...
Yeah.
So how
The big bird.
about we to leave our companions or animal companions here, where they're a bit safer? Maybe leave Esther there as well. You take Eric for the magical support. Esther's our go-to safe place if someone gets really badly hurt, and I will have to find my own way there either by air or by sea.
Okay, yeah.
I should also note that if you do dim door out, I'm going to find my own way back, and I'll be out of wild shapes at that point. So I will probably end up having to catch back up with you after a bit of a rest. I'll have to swim away and find a safe place because I just don't have enough wild shapes to achieve everything otherwise.
Okay.
I can stay in those forms for 10 hours, so I should be able to get to a safe place first and then rejoin you afterwards.
In fairness, remaining in wild shape, if you're airborne, that might be an advantage to us.
I'm concerned that airborne isn't the strongest option because of those vulture demon things.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to spend my entire time dodging them. Now, I can cast spells while in wild shapes, that's a thing. But if I'm fighting them or doing escalating, if you can get inside the ship, then we're not worried about the air attacks anymore. So it'd be better for me
Could you
to
wild
be
shape
in the water, really.
Could you wild shape into one of those vultures
Oh,
and go in undetected?
only if they're natural creatures, and they don't look natural to me.
Right, okay. Fair show.
They're not celestial, which would be the other option. But I
Okay.
could go in the water and offer support from that way. That's an option, I guess. Especially if you want a hole in the side of the boat, that might also be an option.
Okay. Fair enough then.
So that takes us back to, are we going to sneak the one way, or or just Otto going to sneak the one way? Because we can't all five go with him.
No.
If he's going to wild shape, and we're taking Eric, you can't take us all.
No, I'll have to go by myself.
Either we all go sneak to the headland, and then you dimension door, three of us with you over, and Otto then metamorphoses into whatever, or he goes by himself, metamorphoses, and we go direct from the tower.
I think direct from the tower makes the most sense. It's the safest
Yeah.
way.
You go by yourself.
I can outfly the vultures. I'm faster than them. We already established that. I can essentially fly around to them. What I'll do is I think if I plan not to return with you directly, I can go as the eagle on the way in. I can drop into the water, go into octopus or squid, and then giant octopus makes the most sense. It means I won't be able to directly fight inside the thing, but if you knock them off, I'll deal with them.
Did Otto tell us how fast he thought
Yeah, about the speed of a
those
horse.
birds were? Which is what?
Depends on how you
Would
push
we
the
know?
surely.
Would we know a horse flat out running? I think.
I suspect, if you're looking at in-game, as in we're not putting this out, I suspect they're probably in the region of about 60 feet around.
60 feet around. Right. Okay.
It's only a suspicion, though, because we didn't talk about exact numbers, because that wouldn't be perfectly appropriate.
Okay.
Wouldn't
Fine.
be sporting, would it?
No, I was just thinking of Rowan's flying speed.
Right. Okay. So your plan is Otto's going to make his way on his own. Laura, you're going to dim door Eric, yourself, Kewin, and Ogvar across to the ship.
Yeah.
Okay. What kind of time are you think you're doing that? You think you're doing that like now, later, an hour, dusk? What kind of timings are we looking at?
Same again, we don't want it to be too dark.
I say no time like the present.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's your plan. You're going to go now. So are you planning to let Otto get to where he needs to be first? Are you planning to just kind of go and wait for Otto to catch up? Because obviously you're going to be quicker dim dooring.
Well, yeah, I mean, you've got to prep it, but also it's almost instantaneous once it's prepped, isn't it? So
Otto should be able to get there fairly quick as a bird, though. So
Once what's prepped?
spell.
I don't have to prep spells.
Oh, there you
I
go.
didn't say you needed.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were talking. Right. Okay.
No, kind of like when you're ready to cast, I think is what the
Right,
giant
yeah.
bird was. So what I think you've got if you go for that, was it a falcon or an eagle? I think you've got
Giant.
80-foot fly speed, isn't it?
Yeah, I'd probably go for a giant eagle. It's a bit more obvious, it's true, but the speed's there, and that's going to be more important than anything else,
Yeah.
I think. I think I might want to just cast a couple of spells before leaving as well.
Yeah, I'm just looking at that now.
Okay, so are you all kind of agreed that this is the plan you're going to take?
Yeah.
I'm happy.
Okay, so what we'll do is we'll drop back into character now. Boom. Puff. Okay, you've come up with your plan. The plan is that Elora is going to cast Dim Door. She's got a straight line of sight to the ship. 800. It's within 800 feet, so she's able to make it. She will take Eric, Kewin, and Ogvar with her, leaving Otto to make his way on his own. Otto is going to wild shape into a
Giant eagle.
giant eagle. Okay, and you will have a fly speed of around 80 foot.
I do have snowshoes already cast early in the day, so it's 90 feet.
Okay, so yeah, you're probably going to be able to make it there within 18 seconds at that rate. You're going to be pretty damn quick, if not kind of arriving at the same time as Elora almost. So you'll be able to make it across, and that's your plan then, yeah?
Yeah.
You're happy with that plan?
Yeah, sounds as good as any.
Okay,
Yeah.
there we go.
So
So,
I'm going to set about preparing. I'm going to cast a couple of spells on myself to give me a better chance of getting there or getting out of trouble when things go wrong. So I'm going to cast Camouflage, which is a first level spell, lasts 10 minutes a level, and that's going to give me +10 to my hide checks. And
Nice.
I'm also then going to use a let me just see if I can find that one again. Yeah, I'm going to cast a 4th level spell, Freedom of Movement, again lasting 10 minutes level, which we used before, and this will stop me being grappled or slowed down by anything, so in case those things do catch up with me, I should still be able to get away.
okay.
There is something that Laura would like to do first of all. She's going to recall Rowan. Rowan! Rowan!
Yep, he will appear.
She's not going to yell too loudly from the bell tower, obviously.
Yep, okay.
She is going to cast a couple of spells. She's going to imbue him with Ray of Flame. So she's going to give him that spell to carry, and then she is going to cast invisibility on him.
Okay.
And the instruction she will give him is, Rowan, you stay with me, you're carrying this spell. It is a damaging spell. Do not cast it unless I ask you, or unless you become in a problem that you cannot get out of. I'm going to also cast you invisibility so that people can't see you. Do you understand? But try and stay near to me at all times.
Are you planning on taking Rowan with you?
Yes.
Well, one of us can't come.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can't take your companion with you. We haven't
No.
got enough slots to go through the dim door.
Because he's a small creature.
He can fly on his own, that's why I've cast invisibility.
Okay, well, you did say taking him with you.
Oh, right, okay.
Right. So
I'll
you're planning for him
clarify
to fly.
that.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah,
What's
sorry.
his fly speed like? Is it-
He's 40 feet, so he'll arrive later.
Okay, yeah.
So I will explain to him, Rowan, we're going to the ship. I will get there before you. I want you to fly directly to the ship and find me, and then stay with me.
Your bat squeaks incredibly, he's incredibly excited. And now that he's invisible, he proceeds to fly around the room, or you can only assume he's flying around the room, in circles, battering into people. So he kind of hits you in the back of the head, Kewin, and your visor comes clanging down. And old Vardy gets you in the forehead as he kind of scuffs you as he goes past. You are getting hit by this kind of invisible Furby flying tennis ball.
And Rowan, listen. Very important. You need to stay quiet. They might not be able to see you, but they can still hear you if you make a noise. Okay.
Make a stealth check for Rowan for me, please.
Stealth check.
Or a hide check. Or
Hide check.
Move silently check, sorry.
Hang on, let's have a look. He's got his own.
Make
He's
all
got some
checks.
of his own checks. So let's just have a quick look.
During this,
He's got
Kieran
hide,
gets
listen,
his
spot,
crossbow
move
ready.
silently.
Okay, so you're getting your crossbow ready, Kieran. Nice.
So which do you want me to make? Hide or move
Move
silently?
silently, please.
Move silently.
Move silently.
That's a 10 plus a 6, so that's a 16 all in.
Okay, yeah, it's fine. He doesn't fly into the bell in his excitement. You're safe. Okay, right, so you've got this plan in place. I'm assuming you're going to have told Esther. Esther's happy with the plan. Oh, okay, dearie, I'll stay here and look after... you leaving Murdoch or just
Oh
Bojo?
yes, I'll leave him behind. He's not a combat bird. He's more of a messenger, really. So
Okie dokie, dearie, come here, pretty birdie. And she puts her finger out and gives him kissy noises. Which I'm assuming Murdoch might be a bit in kind of disdain about, but will
he'll go. Yeah.
will take up perch on her finger. Looking about as disgusted as a kind of a raven can. So Esther's happy to be left behind. She'll stay in the church. She'll stay waiting for you. She does say, if you need me, dearie, give me just give me a call and I'll come running.
Okay, no problem.
Eric, who you're taking with you, you've informed him of the plan. He's yes, of course, anything I can do to help. Ha.
Well, let's hope you bring something useful with you, Eric. I don't know quite what your capabilities are.
I am simply the best.
Yeah, that's what worries me.
Ha.
Just make it count, yeah? Have you been in a dangerous situation before, Eric? I mean, really?
I've been in my fair share of scrapes and bar brawls. Not that someone of my status should be round bars, but ha.
Laura's just going to raise an eyebrow and look at Ogvar and Kewin, and then she's just going to tip her hat forward slightly. Just shroud her face in a little bit of shadow.
Okay,
Okay, yeah.
so
Before we move off, I would just have a little discussion with Bojo. Good lad, just keep an eye on Esther till we get back, and hopefully it won't be too long. And of course, if anything comes through that doesn't look like us or smell like us, maybe give it a nice big cuddle so that Esther doesn't get hurt, yeah? Won't be long.
Bojo gives you this kind of response, and then proceeds to give you a big lick as he does so.
Good lad.
Okay, so before we go, Ogvar, any other prep you want to do? So you are at the point where Alora hasn't cast yet, but you are going to step through the portal. Is there any prep that you want to do before you step through, or before in preparation?
No, I think he'll obviously just get all his stuff to hand, and he's happy with that. He's just
so all the stuff to hand, all the equipment. You know what you've got. You've got your bow ready to go.
Yeah.
Good. Okay,
Yeah.
excellent. Kewin?
Yeah, basically Kieran will get his crossbow ready.
Yep.
Just in case. If it comes to he's got quick draw.
Yep.
So just a drop and I'm ready.
Okay.
I'm not going to cast any spells as yet.
Okay.
Because there's a time limit on them.
Yep.
So,
Sure. Okay. Right. Cool. Otto, anything else? I know you've got snowshod.
So the current relevant active spells at the moment would be snowshoes, magic fan greater on me, and Bojo, camouflage,
Yep.
and freedom of movement. Normally I
Yep,
would have my
okay.
luminous armor up, but I'm not going to cast that today because I think we might need to be a little bit more quiet at various points.
Yeah, you're not glowing.
No.
Okay. So any other actions that you're taking before you step through?
Nope, just crack myself a little bit, make sure that nothing. I can move a bit more freely,
Limber up.
and I'll be good to go.
Okay, Elora. Any other actions? Obviously, you've prepped Rowan. You've primed him with ray of what is it? Flame.
Ray of flame.
Ray of flame. He's invisible, flying around like a furry tennis ball. He's ready to follow you up. I'm assuming he'll probably stick with you as far as he can, Otto.
Yeah.
Basically,
Yeah.
which isn't going to be very far, but he'll set off at the same time as you.
Yeah.
are there anything else you're preparing, Elora?
No, she has False Life cast on herself from previously, which has given her an extra 17 temp HP. She's already cast Mage Armour on herself, which will last 10 hours, I think. So,
Okay.
yeah, I think that is all she needs to do.
Apologies, there is just one more thing I'd like to add to everyone. Obviously, I'll join you on the ship as soon as I can. I'll land on it. But if I have to disappear in the water, if you need me to start taking apart the boat, give the hull 3 good humps, three good thumps, and I'll start dealing with it that way, because I won't otherwise be able to communicate with you. All right?
Okay,
Okay.
cool.
Okay, so Eric will also likewise make his own preparations. You see him kind of fussing around a bit. He gets out his encrusted tome, gives it a bit of a kind of a spit shine on the big old gem on the front, preps himself ready. You see him flicking through the pages, but he is also likewise ready to go and gives you the kind of affirmative nod.
So Otto's turning into a sea eagle?
A giant eagle, yeah.
A giant eagle.
Giant eagle.
Sea eagle.
A seagull.
A
Sea eagle. Sea eagle.
Shy talk.
He likes animals, but they ain't animals, right?
Don't stand underneath him.
Actually, this one thing that
He'll be all right because he's got a helm. It'll deflect any bird.
No, it'll
shit
just
that
roll
comes
down the visor, wouldn't it? Nice white war paint streak. Okay, so Elora, you cast Dim Door. I'm assuming Otto, at this point, you're going to wild shape.
Yeah, it's probably best I leave just a moment beforehand, but yes, I'll wild shape and immediately take off.
So for clarification, I'm guessing you've gone up onto the open floor.
It's the only logical place to launch from, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Right, so Elora casts Dim Door.
I do.
What does Dim Door look like? Don't say door, which is dim.
Well, I think she would obviously have reached out. She'd have taken, say, Ogvar's hand, and Ogvar would be in contact. Each person would be in contact with the other for a start. So it's almost like as she cast it, you see a fine silvery thread that attaches all the people that are in contact with each other. I think you would see almost a vertical line open up in space, and as she steps through, taking everybody that is attached by the thread with her, they would literally just disappear. It would be like a silvery light.
Okay, right. So, what are you thinking of when you Dim Door? Obviously you want to go to the ship, but what are you thinking of?
She is thinking of going to arrive at a location that she has physically seen from looking out from the tower and from the observation plateau that they were using as an observation.
Okay, so you're thinking somewhere on the deck, yeah?
I think somewhere on the deck, but I think she would be aiming to arrive as close to a wall as possible, somewhere that might offer some immediate cover as they arrive.
Okay.
So maybe the side of a wheelhouse, or whatever is there that is a structure on the deck.
Okay, so I want you to make me a percentage roll, please.
A percent? That's new. Okay.
I haven't told you what you...
Oh. Oh, I see. One of those sorts of percentage rolls. Okay, yeah. Go.
20% increment. Ogvar, you pick it.
Oh dear. 20%. 65 to 85.
65 to 85. Roll for it.
That's a 47. 47%.
Excellent, that's what I like to hear.
Yeah.
Okay,
Rats.
so, Ogvar, you hear almost the sound of this you probably even feel it, this kind of almost ripple in space and time. It's this very strange feeling that is kind of, almost on the edges of your senses. Something is warping, like reality is warping in this very weird sense. And you know from that Elora has opened up the Dim Door. So I'm assuming at that point you are going to wild shape. You're going to take the form of a giant eagle. Is it still there?
Yes, sorry. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Yep. It's going to take the form of a giant eagle, and you are going to take flight. So you launch into the air, perhaps knocking over a bit more of this kind of parapet, kind of bit of wall as it crumbles underneath your powerful talons. You can very clearly feel, although you can't see him, you can feel Rowan's presence beside you as he takes off as well. But you very, very quickly lose him. Laura, as you open up the dim door on the other side, you step out with Eric, Ogvar and Kewin in tow and arrive on the forecastle of this ship. You haven't managed to put yourself alongside a structure. You have simply arrived on the kind of the front deck of this ship. And looking around, you immediately catch sight of a number of very small creatures. These creatures look like tiny humanoids. They have small leathery bat wings, a barbed tail, and sharp, twisting horns which curve from the side of their skulls around eye level. A number of them look at you, give this inhuman shriek, and promptly disappear from existence, their forms fluttering as they scatter. Otto, on the wing, up in the air, make me a move silently check, please.
Okay. We have a 5 on the dice and a move silently of 1, so 6 in total.
Ew. 6 in total. Oh dear, that is not good. Okay.
Going well, guys. Going well.
Let's see. This is not going to go well. 17. Okay. So, as you begin to approach, your appearance is not at all stealthy. You are the only other flying creature, except for these vulture-like birds, in the air. It's very easy to notice you, very easy to spot you. And as you approach, a couple of these circling vultures begin to kind of, which are flying around, begin to kind of turn back towards the ship to begin to try and tail you, to follow you. And it becomes very, very obvious very quickly that these vulture-like creatures are beginning to kind of amass and show interest in you. As you get closer to the ship, a couple of more take to the wing from the masts. What are you doing?
Internally, panicking. Wishing I had a pair of trousers to change the colour of. Externally, I'm going to focus on what I need to. And what I'm going to try and do is fly. If there's that many giving me their attention, I think I'm going to fly past the ship to try and gather as many as I can behind me, and then ultimately I'm going to spend some time circling back round to try and get to the ship ahead of them. Try and draw them away for a moment.
Okay, so you're going to try and effectively bait them, I'm assuming?
Yeah, that's exactly it.
You're going to take some kind of action to bait them, so you can make me a... Ooh, let's see. Let's say a charisma check, please. Straight charisma.
I was wondering if I might be able to squeeze a handle in there. Let's give this a go, though. 13 plus 3, 16.
16, okay, and then let me just roll for this, and let's see how many you managed to capture the attention of. So, abilities. So they're going to make an opposed wisdom. Opposed wisdom roll.
Okay.
With a 7. So you do manage to attract quite a few of their attentions. We said they're about 40 odd, didn't we? So let's roll 2d20. Okay, yeah, so you're able to gather 12 of these big vulture-like birds behind you. You perhaps let out a very shrill, piercing eagle cry, which is enough to incite the majority of them to drag their attention away from the 4 individuals who've just appeared on deck and drag their attention towards you. I'm assuming you're probably going to slow down your speed slightly just to make sure they're still baited, still behind you.
Yeah, good guess, exactly that. Just try and get as much attention as I can, make as much noise as I can as well.
Okay, so I'm going to take it that for the next coming couple of rounds or couple of actions, you're just going to be doing this. If at any point your decision changes, speak up and we'll deal with it from there.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay, so on deck, the 4 of you have just arrived, looked around, seen these very odd, strange looking small humanoid beings which have promptly screamed and screeched at your arrival and then begun to disappear. Looking around, you do feel the eyes of these vultures upon you, and very quickly you see Otto in his giant eagle form fly overhead, promptly let out an avian screech and drag away several of these creatures. What are you doing at this point? As a snap action, basically. What are you doing?
The church was searched, and with the wind whistling through holes in the holy walls where its windows had once been, little of note was found, save some withered flowers and a shrine with the symbol of Avacyn. Climbing up the stairs to the clock tower, its capped bell tower above offered an excellent panoramic view of the town, lending a valuable perspective to their planning. Elora's familiar went rogue, and as an overly excited Rowan raced around on the rampage in the small space, the bat in the Belfry blindly bumped into everything, causing quite the commotion. An out-of-character chat was concluded, and the party parted company. Rowan raced off imbued with the benefit of invisibility. Otto took to the wing once more. Esther and Bojo stayed at base camp, whilst the sorceress folded the fabric of space and relocated the rest onto the forecastle of the ship. But what will they find there? Hang on to your hats until next week in episode 132. Hey, you made it this far, so lend us your ears for a moment longer if you will. Firstly, we are most humbled that you are enjoying our yarn, and the crew thank you from the bottom of their hearts for your patronage. Producing this podcast is incredibly hard work, and as such, if you would like to support us, there are a few ways in which you could really make a difference. Sharing links to friends and family helps to spread the word so others like you can find us, and in turn they too can enjoy the show. Equally helpful is leaving a 5-star review on Spotify and any other streaming services, which will help us immensely. Or, if you feel you could go that extra mile and contribute a few coppers to keep our creative juices flowing, you can hop on over to our Buy Me a Coffee page or drop us an email. We would all be immensely grateful for your support in any form. Lastly, we invite you to visit our website, where you will find information on our campaign from backstories to settings. Join our Facebook group or follow us on Twitter. All the links are in our episode bios. Don't forget to smash the subscribe and download buttons so you never miss the next episode. See you all again next week, folks.